We got a rat that came over to visit us today. Say hi, Pixie! There's Pixie. Alright, so Adam's just working on trying to get some feel to the motor. I figured we'd actually show you guys that it does run, even though we kind of had her flubbing out last time. We got her just hooked up to a gas can right now. Don't mind Ben, he's using the car as his jungle gym. He's having some fun. You will be soon. So,
earmuffs.
We ready? Put those earmuffs on, bud. Let's see what we got. Oh, strike one. There, want me to do that part?
Yeah.
Switching spots.
Not yet. Now give her.
Downfall of not having the choke hooked up yet.
Go for it.
Alright, so it does run. What else have we been working on? We got the firewall cut out and beat back. We may do a little bit more yet, wanting to make sure we got enough room for the distributor. Don't want that thing breaking off as, well, Adam's driving, so we probably won't nose this thing up because we know he sandbags like hell, but in case I ever drive it, I guess. Started to get the dash ripped out. She's pretty much done. Making some progress there. Seats out, back seats out. Now you can really appreciate the forest we got growing in this thing. So we're going to keep working on just getting this stuff cut out so we can start working on getting a cage thrown in it. Still got to get the windows pulled. Adam's just working on that part now. So that's boring enough that we're not going to throw you guys on time lapse for now. I'll check back in here soon once we got the rest of this interior gutted and pulled out of here. Alright, still making a little bit of progress here. So obviously somebody cut a hole. Adam, what do you got going on up here?
Torched the hole in the hood. As most of the Fords that I've got a hold of, aluminum hoods. So they're aluminum. Do what you can, really. If anything, this is just keeping the fan from throwing stuff at me. Big enough hole that obviously motor and everything can move. This isn't mounted down yet, but we got our holes for our all thread that went through the core supporting the frame. I don't like to run all thread back here because, as everybody knows, once you take the inner fenders out, there's nothing there. And you're only allowed to go sheet metal to sheet metal. So instead, I like to make these little angle iron plates. So what we do is we'll punch a hole here, another hole here, and then this one will get 2 holes on the bottom. That gets bolted to the hood right there. We'll punch another hole and another hole. We'll run bolts through there. We usually do 2. And then as you see, it's welded onto the fender on here because they're steel fenders. So that's our second and third point of attachment on each side. So we're allowed 6. 2 of them are all thread. Other 2, I like to do the angle iron plates. Now once you cut a hole that big in a hood, it gets pretty floppy. So I like to take the underpinning. Be smart whenever you cut it. Don't cut all the braces out if you can keep from it. Try to keep some of the structural integrity underneath. And then I just go through and sandwich bolt a few spots all the way around the hood, pretty much in anything that's left, so that it holds the 2 pieces together and gives you a little bit of something. Not going to run a goose box on this one just because I'm going to be running gauges. With this being my best motor, I want to be able to tell fuel, battery amperage, because we'll have a trans fan cooler going on here. Also want to tell water temperature, oil pressure, all those things. So those gauges will be right down here on the bottom. I got a spot for my power, fuel, green light so that I know the battery and everything is still hooked up. This also tells me that power is going to the distributor. We've got the push button for the start, and then we've got the fans, so for our transmission cooler. And then this is actually a choke. So running the Edelbrock 600 CFM with the manual choke. I know everybody likes to wire the chokes wide open, and that's great. I agree with that 100%. Only problem that Cody and I have ran into with that is we do derbies in 30-degree weather sometimes, and it takes forever to get a car started with the choke wired wide open. So simple, I think it was like $12, $11 at O'Reilly's. You get the kit, you drill a hole, you put your choke in. It's just a push-pull and take the springs off the carburetor so that that's your whole thing. I can pull it, it's wide open, or I can push it and it's closed. I like to do it backwards, so that way it's more likely that this is going to get knocked in whenever you make a hit. So all the way in is actually wide open. So once the car is running great, my choke is wide open. I don't have to worry about that thing going shut on me. But to get it started and everything to go good in the colder times, you're able to pop that open, have a little extra motor help. Right now, knock on wood, engine sounds really healthy for being fired up the first time. We had a vacuum leak in the last segment that you saw there. That's why as soon as you fire up the motor, revved up super high. It was a brand new carburetor from Edelbrock. I actually had tuned there. They sent to me, and of course it didn't have everything capped off. I thought I got them all, but I missed one big vacuum right in the front. It's actually meant to go to your valve cover. So it's one of those, is it PCV valve, I think it is, or something like that. So I capped that off too. I don't need that. And now it idles really well. So once we get the radiator hooked up, we'll fire the engine up, let it run for about 30 minutes consistently so that we can check oil pressure, check the temperature of the water, oil temperature, all those good things, make sure the trans is cycling properly, and then we'll dial in that carburetor just a little bit more so that it's, when we're done, it's made to put your foot on the floor and don't let off. That's the goal.
Alright, so we're probably going to call this a video here shortly. There's a little bit more update. We do have the interior pretty much taken care of. Dash is now all out. We got one door panel that we got to take care of over there. We got a giant pile of crap that needs to come out of here. Looks like Adam started to clean the doors up so that those will eventually get welded once we're done putting the cage in. So the reason that I'm going to call this one a video here is we're going to go to start working on the cage, and I'm going to try to do as much detail on that one as possible. I think we're going to try to do a bolt-in for this 100% one.
100% bolt-in, and it should be able to change between all of our Crown Vic cars.
So that'll be something that we'll try to go a little bit more in depth on. So for now, we're going to call this one a video. As always, we appreciate you guys tagging along, and for sure you know it too.
Hey, Goose.